everybody and welcome to another Minecraft Bedrock tutorial. I can't believe it. It's been over a year and a half since I first uploaded that video on that original piston bridge. Over a year and a half! That's crazy. So I thought it was about time that I updated that video. And you guys seem to agree with me. Now don't get me wrong, that original design does still work. So if you want to go and build it, go ahead and build it. But it's just not very exciting. It's not very mind-blowing. But of course, the major flaw with that design is the video that goes along with it. Hello everybody, and welcome to another Minecraft Bedrock tutorial. Ugh. What it is a 2x6 bridge for your Minecraft world. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. Why do I sound so bored? I sound so lethargic. What is wrong with me? Basically, this is the old design. And this is the new one. Okay. Let's just have a look at the design quickly before this video gets even weirder. So here is our 8x2 piston bridge. So we start by just showing you how it works. So at the moment we have an 8 wide gap, but not for long. When we press this button, as you can see, our bridge extends really nice and quickly, fully in sync, and it's just brilliant. And we can walk over. And then when we press this button, we can see it retracts. And again, it's fully in sync and everything working very, very quickly. So we have the extension. Beautiful. And then we have the retraction. I absolutely love this thing. And lastly, just take a quick look at the redstone. As you can see, it is very, very compact. Really, really small. It may look quite large to you, but honestly, with how much it's doing, and you'll see later, this is really compact, okay? So now you've seen the design, you've seen the redstone, let's get on with this tutorial. So, for this truly amazing build, you're going to need 16 regular pistons, 26 sticky pistons, 48 observers, 28 repeaters, 3 redstone torches, 8 redstone dust, 8 slime blocks, 8 honey blocks, 4 droppers, 2 hoppers, 2 comparators, 2 rubbish blocks, 1 rail, 2 minecarts, 2 tripwire hooks, 12 string, 2 stone buttons, 6 slabs, 16 blocks for your bridge itself, 24 immovable blocks, I'm going to be using obsidian, 40 blocks for redstone, and then how many blocks you need for decoration. Okay, to start this build, have 2 platforms which are 8 blocks away from each other, okay? Exactly 8 blocks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exactly 8, okay? No more and no less. Now, our platforms have to be at least 5 wide and 5 tall, okay? So our bridge is going to be going here. Alright? Now, after that, come down here and firstly remove these 2 blocks, this one and this one. And in its place, place obsidian. Now remove these 4 blocks like this. And on this block here, place a honey block. Then go toward the back and place 3 more going toward the back. 1, 2, 3. So we should have 4 in total. Now place 5 more blocks coming away from this honey block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And remove the first 4. Now from this block here, we need to place 4 sticky pistons going toward this honey block. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can remove this block here. And on our honey block, we can place any old block that you want to be your bridge itself. I'm going to be using slab blocks, but you can use pretty much whatever you like, as long as it's not an immovable block, okay? So nothing like obsidian. Next to our honey blocks, we need to place 4 slime, and then place 4 more pistons, and again, 4 more of your bridge blocks. And then what I like to do is just remove these 2 blocks here, and place some more slabs, but it's completely up to you. It just means when it's extended, we can have a smooth walk down to a bridge instead of having a little drop. And now we can repeat that on this side. So we remove these 2 and these 2, and in their place, place obsidian or any immovable block. Remove these 4. But this time, instead of having honey on this side, which would match on this side, we need to have the opposite of this one, if that makes sense. So we have honey on the left on this side. So we need on this side, we need slime. So slime is going to extend to here, but we can't have slime touching it, otherwise it's going to get stuck. So we need honey on the side. See what I mean? So then we can extend these out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 blocks out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move the first 4. Sticky pistons going inward. Move that block. 4 more sticky pistons. And then our bridge blocks. And then I like to remove these 2 and place some more blocks like that. Brilliant. Okay, now we're on to some proper redstone. So just make sure you're looking at the build from this side here. Then come over to the right hand side, and on these third pistons, place 2 blocks like this. Then grab some obsidian and place it like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 temporary blocks here with 2 observers facing downward. And we can remove these blocks here. Now next to our observer and below our obsidian, we need a regular piston facing outward like this. And then the same on this side. From our 2 regular pistons, we need 2 observers. And then from our 2 observers, we need another observer. And then another one. And then 2 blocks like so. Now we need 6 repeaters, all going this way. So 1 here on 2 ticks. Another here on 2 ticks. And then 1 here on 2 ticks. And then the same on this side. So 1 here on 2 ticks. 1 here on 2 ticks. And 1 here on 2 ticks. Again, make sure they're all on 2 ticks. Again, making sure you're looking at the right side. Place a block here, and then a regular piston facing downward here. Remove this block and have a torch like this. Then a block here, and have another torch like so. So the regular piston should be on the narrower side, and the regular block should be on the thicker side of our wall. And then we can repeat this on the other side, but just mirror it, of course. Come round here. So 2 blocks like this. 2 obsidian and 2 obsidian. 2 temporaries. Observer, observer. Remove these 2. 2 regular pistons facing outward. 4 observers. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 blocks. And then our repeaters. 2 ticks, 2 ticks, 2 ticks. And on the side, 2 ticks, 2 ticks, and 2 ticks. Again, make sure they're on 2 ticks. And then again, on the wider side, we need the block. Like that. And on the narrower side, we have the piston like that. And then torches on both. Now, just before we cover up all the sides with redstone, we actually need to place in 2 more sticky pistons on each side. So 2 like this. And then 2 observers facing downward. Because later, redstone is going to go here, and you won't be able to place that observer. It gets very annoying. And then the same on this side. And like I said before, just make sure that this piston here is on the narrower side, and the block is on the thicker side, okay? Okay, now from this part, it can be a little bit confusing, so just make sure you pay attention, alright? Now, what we're about to do now has to be repeated on all sides, so it doesn't matter where you start, but basically, from this observer here, place one out. Then, on top of this observer, place another, and a piece of obsidian, or any immovable block, like that. Then grab another observer, place it here, and again, another immovable block here. Now, on the side of this observer, we need to grab a regular piston and place it like this. Okay? So when it will pulse, it will actually go underneath this observer, because this one will be retracted. Now, from this observer, we need another one, and then one up. Now, a regular block here. Now, grab one more observer and place it downward toward this piston here, like so. Now, from this block going toward this obsidian, we need a repeater on 2 tick delay. 1 and 2. Then block here, 1 here, and on this block, going toward this one, we need a repeater on 3 tick delay. 2, 3. And then lastly, off this block, we need a sticky piston going toward the middle. Then grab an observer and place it like that. And then a block here. Alright? So you've done that once, now you need to repeat that 3 more times. Okay, so observer here, 1 up, immovable block. Observer up, immovable. Regular piston like so. Observer here, going up, regular block. Observer going toward this piston, like that, like that. The face facing toward the sky. repeater here going toward this obsidian on 2-tick delay, block here, 1 here, and then on this block, repeater on 3-tick delay going toward this block. And then lastly, sticky piston here, observer like this, the dot going toward the middle of these sticky pistons, and a block. Okay, so that's that side nearly done. Now on to this side. So, observer, observer, immovable, observer, immovable, regular piston like so, observer out, observer up, regular block, observer facing downward toward this piston. On this observer going toward this obsidian, we want a repeater on 2 ticks, block here, and a repeater on 3 ticks, like that. Then lastly, sticky piston, observer toward the middle, and block. And now lastly, onto this side. So, observer, you're getting bored of this now, are you? Obsidian or any immovable block, observer, immovable, regular piston going toward this one, observer out, 1 up, block, another observer going toward this piston, repeater on 2 ticks going toward that obsidian, block here, 1 here, repeater on 3 ticks like that, sticky piston like this, observer like that, and block. So just make sure you have exactly the same on all 4 sides. Now just before we move on, I think it'd be wise just to test this to make sure we've done it right. Wouldn't you? Now off the block with the torch on here, just place a lever, and when we flick it on, we should have most of the retraction completely done. There we are. So you can see it just needs to retract this last bit now. And we can remove it. And again, make sure it happens on this side too. Brilliant. Okay, to finish with our piston extenders, just make sure you're on the fixed side of the wall here. So not this side, but this side. And you want to place a regular piston off this side of this block here, facing upward. Then a block here, and have an observer on top of it like that. So when that piston extends, that observer will detect it. Then a block here, and coming away from our observer, we need a repeater on 4-tick delay. Now a block here, and 1 up, remove this block, and a torch here. Then grab 2 slabs and place it like this, 1 and 2, temporary block here, and 1 up, remove this block, and on both of these slabs have dust, 1 and 2. And then lastly, repeater here on 1 tick, and from this repeater here, we need an observer going, into this piston here. So you can see the face is detecting the repeater. And then the same on this side. So repeater on 1 tick here, and then lastly, an observer here. And surprisingly, that's actually everything completely done for the piston extender. So if we just grab a lever and place it down here, so on the block, and flick it off, as you can see, we have our full retraction. Beautiful. So now we just need to repeat that last bit on this side. So make sure we're on the thick side, which we are. Grab a regular piston, place it off the side of that block, temporary block here, observer, then block, remove this one, repeater on 4-tick delay coming away from that dot there, block here and 1 up, remove this block, torch on this side of this block, 2 slabs like this, 1 and 2, temporary block here and 1 up, remove this one, dust on these 2 slabs, and then lastly, repeater here with an observer coming away from it into this piston, and then repeater here, and again an observer like that. And now we can test this side. So just grab a lever, flick it here. There we are. Beautiful. Now all we have to do is the very, very simple thing of getting them to open and close at the same time, which actually is really easy. Okay, so now we actually have to place in the buttons. So the buttons go on the thinner side of the build, okay? Not this side, but on this side. So first you place a block here, and the button is going to go here. Now underneath this block, we need a regular piston facing downward, like that. Now leave a space in between and have an observer off this obsidian here, okay? Just make sure there's no block here, otherwise this will break because it will get stuck to the slime. Then from this observer here, facing this way, we need a sticky piston, like that. A regular block here, then leave a space and have an observer like that. So again, there should be a space between that block and this observer. And then lastly, grab a piston and face it up. Now on this piston, we need to place down your rail. Now on that rail, we need a minecart. Now after you place the minecart, just look at the rail like this and break it. So our minecart should sit perfectly on top of our piston. So now when I press this button, that should extend our minecart. Well, it should extend the piston, pushing up the minecart. Brilliant. And now we can do the same on this side. So go to the skinny side, block like this with the button on it, piston directly underneath that block, then miss out this block and have an observer next to the obsidian, sticky piston underneath that observer, block here, miss out a block and have an observer, then a piston, then grab our rail, place it down, and a minecart, and then we can remove the rail. Like that. Okay, now we're on to our final section, okay? We can actually add the T flip-flops. So firstly, come to this thicker side, the bit with the minecart on it, and firstly place a block next to this obsidian here. And on this side of it, have a tripwire hook. Now 2 blocks down from this one, we need another block, so next to that piston arm. And we need dust on top of this block. Then a block here, and a transparent block next to this obsidian here. To this obsidian here. I'm going to be using a slab, but you can use glass or whatever you like. But it has to be transparent. Coming away from this block, on this slab, we need a repeater on 2-tick delay. So press it down and press it once. Then grab a dropper and place it facing upward off the side of that slab. Now crouch and place another dropper, like this. And then crouch again and place a hopper going toward that bottom dropper. Just make sure it's going toward it like that. Then again, make sure you crouch and place a comparator like this. Then place a block in front of the comparator. Again, make sure you crouch. Block here, 1 down, remove this one, and dust here. Now I'm not going to place any block into the T flip-flop just yet, because I need to wire it up to the other side before I do that. Now we can do the same on this side. So, block here, tripwire hook, block here and dust, block here, transparent block here, I'm going to be using a slab, repeater on 2 ticks coming away from this block, whoops, dropper facing up here, dropper toward the back, hopper going toward that bottom dropper, and a comparator here. Again, make sure you crouch when you're doing all of this. Block here, temporary one here, 1 down, remove this one, and dust. And now, finally, we can remove this block here, next to this obsidian, and this one. And now we need a line of string all along like this. So going from this tripwire hook to this one. Now this is a little bit tricky to place. It gets easier the more you do it. Oh dear, I've just moved my minecart. Ah, that's better. So now we can place in our block. So, in the bottom dropper, place any old block you don't mind throwing away, and then the same on this side. And surprisingly, you are completely done. So now when you press this button here, we should have retraction on both sides. Beautiful. And then when we press this button here, you can see we have the extension. Okay, now last thing to do is just to cover up all the redstone. So we can just place blocks like this. Doesn't really matter. All the way around. And there we are. All done. And this is the end of the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video or like this design, please give us a like. And if you really loved it, make sure you subscribe with that wonderful subscribe button for more awesome content. Anyway, I will catch you guys in the next one, and I'll see you later. Bye! So here is our 8x2 piston bridge. So let's start by seeing how it works. That's a good start. How did I miss landing on this? I'm going to have to do this again.